Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of Project Architect 2, and today is episode 25, which means there is a world download in the description. That means you guys can explore the world, blow up the world, whatever you want to do with the world. The only thing is, I don't know how to transfer EMC or the EMCable items that I have in any useful way. Like, I don't know anything about Project E and how it transfers or anything of that sort. So that may be an issue, but I will leave this world download. It'll be the end of this episode and before, right? So everything we've done up to this point, nothing more, nothing less. So, yeah, if you know anything about EMC, Project E, world sharing, let me know. I will revise the world if that is something, and I will make like a community post. But as of right now, I've got no idea, so we're just going to do it as is. And yeah. Okay, first things first, this episode, we're going to get into Mekanism. Now, Mekanism is going to be a thing that's going to require a little bit of setup, but not a whole lot, because there's not a lot of really unique tasks that Mekanism requires. But we do need a couple basic tier things. So we need some basic control circuits. We need the infused alloy, which is right here. And we also want to look at steel. So we're looking at a different type of steel. I don't know which one we're looking at here. Thermal integration steel. So we could either do this with thermal. Oh, we can only do this with thermal. Okay, we can do it the Mekanism way. But we'll actually do this thermal way. If this is an option, we'll do it this way. We'll just throw some... Oh, well, it's coke. So this actually is a harder recipe because we have to get the pyrolyzer. And that takes an amount of time. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll probably do the Mekanism way just because it's easier. But anyway, we need metallurgic infuser, basic control, and infused alloy. So these are going to require osmium and redstone. So this is a 2 to 1 to 1. So 2, 1, 1. And then this is a 1, 1, 1. So just keep that in mind. So iron, redstone, osmium, redstone. You need 2 stacks to do 1 stack of the basic control circuits, but you only need 1 stack of each for iron. Okay, so we're going to toss that in here, toss that in there. We're going to toss that in there. We're then going to toss that in there. And we're going to toss that in there. Okay? And these machines are lovely and loud. So we're actually going to set an anchor, and we're going to go to Mekanism. And we're just going to turn it down a little bit. Let's turn it down to like 15. Okay. But that's going to start getting us some of the basics. And I actually want to grab one more metallurgic infuser. We're going to do the Mekanism steel that way. So we're going to need some coal. Let's grab a couple stacks. We're going to throw coal in here. Coal in here. We're going to grab some iron. We're going to toss that in here. And this is going to be the first step. We're actually going to go to side config. We're going to clear this. If you hold shift, by the way, it'll clear all of the tabs. We're not going to do that, though. We're going to output right. And in here, clear sides, input left. And then we're going to output on top. And we also do need to set auto eject. So this is enriched iron, and this is going to become steel dust after the fact. Okay. So I've got a handful of things crafting up here. And turn auto eject on here as well. And we actually probably could just go get an iron furnace. Iron furnace, the gold furnace, the diamond furnace, the emerald furnace, the obsidian furnace, and I think we will stop there. And let's grab a factory augment, put that here. So we'll take that out, and let's actually send this to the right. And then here we'll do input left, and then output top. And then this needs to actually start accepting power. Okay, let's get a pipe upgrade on that. It should start sending power full speed. And then we just need to make sure auto input, auto output, and that will get us steel. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. So the next portion of this is to kind of just start getting the machines that we're going to need for what we need, right? And what do we need? That's actually a good question, because we're actually going for more of the plushies here, and we need to get the Quantum Entangloporter. Now, the Quantum Entangloporter is not really that difficult, but it's going to require some machines to do. First thing you can see, refined obsidian ingots. Refined obsidian ingots require refined obsidian dust with osmium in an osmium compressor. And to get this, this is the metallurgic infuser powdered obsidian plus diamond. So this is a 1-to-1-to-1. Okay. And so yeah, we need metallurgic infusers or the infusing factories, which we probably want to start getting towards this tier faster, because this is going to be where everything becomes where you can do bulk batches quicker. But let's just see what we got here. And for most of these machines, the infusing factory, you need these actual components that we're crafting, and also the base one. So let's see. Let's grab a stack of those. So let's just get. Actually, you know what we could do, which I always kind of forget these exist. There is Mekanism upgrades. What are they called? I thought they were called tiers. Yes, they're called tiers. Okay. So we can actually just go ahead and we can grab these tier installers and just upgrade these guys. I kind of forget these exist sometimes, but they are fantastic if you have stuff that's already in operation. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could go to the higher tier, which requires a little bit more work. So we could say advanced. Oop, looks like we're out of infused alloy. So infused alloy. There we go. And that gives us even more slots. So each tier increases, I believe, the power that can actually be accepted inside of these machines, and also the slots available, and probably this buffer for this block specifically. But yeah, so this is fantastic. We're getting some goodies, and steel should be cranking. The other thing, of course, is you guys saw there are upgrades here that you could do: speed upgrades, efficiency upgrades, or energy upgrades in this case, which just make it more efficient with energy. And so yeah, there's definitely some good stuff that we could get into with these and speed this whole thing up. But I think for right now, I'm going to let this run the rest of the items available, and we'll be right back. Hey, quick interjection here. If you guys are enjoying this video, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could leave a like, comment, and or subscribe. And yeah, let's just get back into the video. So one of the machines that you usually want to get in the very beginning of getting started with Mekanism is actually the enrichment chamber here. And this does require steel, so you have to get a little bit further into Mekanism before you can kind of fully get anywhere with this. But this is actually going to allow for you to make more out of your ingredient that you're putting in this slot here, the extra slot. So, for example, carbon, redstone, diamonds, gold, all of that stuff. So you can see here the actual enriched carbon, enriched redstone, enriched diamond, enriched obsidian, enriched gold, enriched tin, enriched iron, which actually this one is not the right one. This is just this ingredient, but it kind of follows the same pattern name. Not 100% sure why they did this, but for example, tin, you can put this in the extra slot. Gold is in the extra slot. Obsidian, diamond, redstone, and carbon. Iron is the only one. It just kind of throws you off when you first see it. With this, we can now make our redstone go much longer. And you may be asking, well, how much does this affect it? 8 times. It 8 times is your original material. So that is why it is a very good thing to get, especially if you're earlier game, kind of like we are, where we don't have a whole bunch of redstone or anything of that sort. We can EMC it, but yeah, this is better, right? You could throw a stack in and get 8 times your value by just simply getting an enrichment chamber. So instead of wasting stacks upon stacks of redstone, we can now go ahead and we can get this enriched, and only a handful of these is now needed for a full stack, right? So we can toss this in here. Now that's 640 millibuckets, which is a stack of redstone. So now we grab the iron. We'll just make a couple more infused, and that should process. That should be good, and everybody's day should be just a little bit happier that we're not wasting a whole bunch. And it takes a little bit less time to kind of just get this, because we're not throwing a whole stack of redstone that takes time to recycle through the actual extra slot too. So maybe that's not a great benefit, but it definitely is, in my opinion, one of the better mechanics with Mekanism, because it's just helpful. So just want to let you guys know, I'm going to process up a little bit more, because I know we're going to need a little bit more, especially in the way of steel, so probably grab some coal. You could also do charcoal here, I think, as well. Let's see. Enrichment chamber. Yes. So you could do this cheaper if you wanted to. So I could actually just go in here instead of wasting coal, and I could just grab charcoal. Actually, do blocks of charcoal work? Oh. Can I enrich this? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I was just curious. Okay. Charcoal. Okay, so I just pushed some stuff to the side here because we're going to need more of these infusing factories. But let's quickly grab the osmium compressor here, because we should have everything we need to go ahead and do this. Also, side note, I have not set up auto-crafting yet. I don't know why I haven't, but I probably will wait a while before we kind of do any of that. Just because I think we're kind of trying to just brute force our way through most of this, and that's fine by me. Okay, osmium compressor, of course, we could look at the recipes here. This is used for the refined obsidian. So this needs us to do a couple more things before we can actually use this machine, which is getting the powdered obsidian and the actual metallurgic infuser for diamonds. And I do like to have a separate metallurgic infusing factory for each tier. And we do have 2 more tiers, which is the diamond and then also the refined obsidian. So if we actually look, this is actually used for, I guess the refined obsidian dust is actually used for the, yeah, right here. You can actually use this to infuse items. So this actually is how you get the atomic alloy. So we don't really need the ingots for, say, not right now, but you will need them down the line when you want to get this, which is what we're trying to get. But yeah, so we need kind of 2 items here. One is the base state of this, while the other one's the actual full form of this. So awesome, perfect. So metallurgic, we will then just grab the actual factories here. So we want to grab 4 of these guys. So there are tiers between ultimate, which you guys just kind of saw a glimpse of whenever I was accidentally pressing buttons. So there's the reinforced, which reinforced, of course, is a diamond stage. But you do need this to actually get to the next tier of atomic alloy. So yeah, we're going to have to do all of that stuff. But now we've got the enrichment factory, or the enriching factory. We will actually be able to do this as well, just a little bit easier. I'm going to actually throw some of these carbon in here, and that should be beautiful. I think another machine we may want to grab is the crusher. Just because in that way we'll be able to do diamond into the crushed diamond and all of that stuff. So let's just get that going here. So we don't need to do the pulverizer. Actually, just grab some diamonds. Actually, I've got diamond dust in here. Yeah, but we'll send it. Oop, I don't want to do a full mute. And if you don't like doing the sound muffler for these machines, by the way, there actually are muffle upgrades for these machines, all of them. You just go into upgrades here and you can see there's a muffling upgrade. That muffling upgrade, I don't remember actually what it cost. steel blend, so it's a little bit more expensive, but totally something that's doable. Okay, and then we're going to throw this in here. We'll start getting that refined. So what we need to do now is once this is done, we'll get some obsidian in here, because I don't think I have any obsidian powder. I have 3 pieces. Okay, let's just grab some obsidian. I'm going to let this process, I'll do a couple stacks in here. Is it in here or... What? Oh, it's just polished obsidian. Hold on. I was like, what in the world is it doing? This obsidian. And then, can I actually do this in a crusher? No, enrichment chamber. Okay. What? How do I enrich this? Oh. Okay, I don't even need to waste my time with that then. Well, we have diamond dust. I completely forgot that that's actually not the way we do it. Let's toss that in there. And then I will wait for the enriching factory to complete. My bad. We just kind of wasted a couple minutes there, but that's all right. Yeah, diamonds into here directly. Is that how it's always been? Am I losing it? I might be losing it. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so we should be able to run diamond. I'm going to run it on this one. And I'm going to just toss in a couple stacks here. Whatever it gets me, gets me. I have put in several stacks of obsidian, so that way we're just going to get a whole bunch of this. And that should be beautiful. So, ooh, refined obsidian. So now we've got the refined obsidian dust, which I will wait for the obsidian currently to finish. And then that will get us the enriched portion, right? And then from there, we do the atomic alloy once we get the reinforced, which the reinforced is just infused. And I guess for right now, we could actually just use this one. And we could grab like a stack of the infused. Let's do half. We'll just toss that in there, turn on split. And then that should be getting us that. And then we can take some of this. And I'm just going to clear out a slot here. Just toss that all back. And that should get us some of the enriched portion. We'll toss that in here. And then once we do that, we'll take the reinforced alloy. We'll toss that in here. Which I don't actually know if these are all 1-to-1. So this is a 4-to-1. So right now we'll only get 2 pieces with that. So that's not great, but that's something. Actually, that is decent. But I think this requires a couple. So we need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So let me get the rest of the items that we're going to need here, because nothing else is complicated. Actually, hold on. I guess let's actually do... I'm going to grab 16 of this to throw into the osmium compressor. And that is also 16 osmium ingots. So this goes in the extra slot here, so we just shift. We throw this in here, auto sort, and then I'm also going to quickly turn that machine down. Okay. And we have our first refined obsidian, which is beautiful. So that should get us closer and closer to getting the Quantum Entangloporter and anything else we may need for Mekanism. Of course, we have, the infrastructure kind of set up to start getting all of that, which is beautiful. And yeah, so I will be back here in a little bit once we are getting through with this. All right, so teleportation core. So the one thing I did forget is these guys actually, but that shouldn't be too hard. We go for 2 for there, 2 for this, and then 2 of these guys. And that should be close. Oh, I'm missing 1. And this has just enough in here. Yes, it does. Perfect. A little bit over, actually, which is fine by me. I thought I was right at the amount that I needed. I thought I had some in the system, actually, but we didn't. But that's okay. Quantum Entangloporter. So that completes that portion. Real quick, let's actually go grab a snowball from our system. And yes, I have one snowball for this exact purpose. The charged snowball from Powa. And that should be almost everything we can get, like, as of right now. The goat trophy. So I actually do have a horn. I went to a pillager place and I did find a horn. I only found one. There's actually one we explored. I just missed a chest. So that was kind of interesting. But goat trophy. So I got a question. If I put this down and right click, does it make a noise? Oh, it doesn't? That sucks. Kind of hoping it would like bah with the horn or something, or make the horn sound. So as of right now, we need singularities and we need the common dimension essence. So we're actually going to have to get enough power to actually get RF Tools Dimensions up and going, which I think we'll do RF Tools Dimensions next episode. But I think we could go and we could get this one going. Let me quickly make a 256K ME storage component, and we will talk about the matter condenser and singularities here in a second. Alright, so I was spending some time kind of testing around what would be our best option for this pack and the matter condenser to get singularities. And I think, honestly, from what I'm seeing, the sink plus pipes is probably our best bet. I don't really see any other options, unless I'm missing something. I don't really have any other ideas. Because I know in the previous pack, Craftoria, we could do the creative, or the cobblestone cell. I guess it's technically kind of creative, isn't it? Where you're just making cobblestone out of thin air. But we could send that at super speed into the matter condenser, but we cannot do that on this pack, which kind of sucks. But I tested a couple options that I found online, but most of them relied on other packs' little quirks, and they were not in this pack. So I'm going to place a piece of cobblestone since I can't shift. But we're just going to do this. And we are going to activate this. And I've got some ultimate pipe upgrades, which did cost us some netherite. Let's take these off for a second so I can actually shift in the air. And we're just going to do this. And I think... Yeah, I did have an extra one for the bottom here, but I think we're good. Okay. And this is set to do the ME condenser output of 256,000 items into the singularity, which is beautiful. And you can see that this isn't terribly slow. Not at all, by any means. But, yeah, I just kind of wish we could make this faster. But, yeah, we're just going to kind of have to live with the slowness. But, yeah, this stuff is used for quite a few different things, by the way. It's not just something that we need for the goat. We could actually get the advanced AE stuff. Looks like, yeah, the quantum entangled singularities are going to be fantastic because that'll allow for us to do wireless AE across dimensions. Looks like advanced AE shattered, singularities, quantum alloys, whole bunch of goodies. Whole bunch of goodies. Inscriber accumulation press from mega cells as well. All right. But we're going to let that go, and what I'll probably do is I will grab a pipe upgrade and a functional storage drawer, so this can actually just keep on keeping on. And we'll probably want to do more of these if we ever want to get into advanced AE, but that's okay. Let's quickly just do drawer, lock. Perfect. And we'll take one out, of course, because we do need one. And we'll go toss it in here. And I think that will do it for this episode. This has been such a blast. I am really enjoying this pack still, even after 25 episodes, which is kind of surprising because I kind of usually get a little bit tired of packs after a while. But I'm enjoying doing the plushies and stuff. And then, of course, we'll get to the Archmate, whatever this is. So we still do have a ways to go because we still also have to do the axolotl thing. We still have to do the goat, which is, of course, RF Tools Dimensions. I think next episode we will do thermal generators for RF Tools Dimensions specifically, so we can create stable dimensions without having to worry about power and all of that other stuff. That could be an influence on problems, basically. So Anyway, thank you guys. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.